a lot of us, we struggle with anxiety and depression, and we do know depression and anxiety, they are triggered by our thinking. Every one of us has automatic thoughts. And what is an automatic thought? An automatic thought is that default way that you interpret what is going on around you. So something happens and you have that automatic thought that just comes to your mind. You have no control over it. When somebody does something that harms you, the automatic thought is, these people don't like me. People are against me, and then that thought can develop other thoughts. Therefore, it is important for you to identify what are your automatic thoughts, and especially the negative ones. So take a notebook, and every day you go through something, write them down, because you are starting the process of gathering what are these negative thoughts that cause me so much distress. And then the next step, when you have written them down, start gathering information about the accuracy of these negative automatic thoughts. Usually a thought like, I have no control over my life, I will never be able to make it, or my husband doesn't love me, my wife does not respect me, therefore I'm not good enough, therefore I'm not a good spouse to them. All those negative thoughts that I have, I do need to sit down and ask myself, what is the concrete evidence of these thoughts that I'm having? Because you see, you are reacting to them. So if I feel that my husband doesn't love me, he doesn't value me, therefore I am not loved, then I will become depressed, or I will become angry, and I will be lashing out and irritated all the time. So there is no happiness, there is no goodness, because again, I have lost something. I had expectations that my husband will always love me, he will always be kind to me. So when I'm triggered to think he is not loving, he is not being kind because he doesn't love me, he doesn't care for me, then you can imagine I have no peace and I have no joy. And the people around me, they are going to experience my quick irritations, my frustrations, and being quick to anger. And so if I can be able to stop and then evaluate these thoughts, look for evidence, since I feel, and the word is feel, that my husband doesn't love me, what evidence is there that truly he doesn't? Now, in one of the segments where I talked about negative thinking patterns, I talked about what we call emotional reasoning. Emotional reasoning is where your feelings are more pronounced than the fact. And so I need to stop and I need to ask myself, where did the trigger come from? And then number 3, I need to identify the automatic thought. And then I need to interact with this thought and ask, is it true? Is it helpful? And is it going to get me to where I need to be? And what is the benefit of continuing to think in these negative ways? And also to ask yourself, what are the alternative ways to explain the behavior of my husband other than he doesn't love me, he doesn't care for me, therefore, this marriage is not worth anything. You see how that one thought, one event and a thought, and then continuing to entertain that thought, to ruminate over it, then it creates even the last thought that we have just said, my marriage is in shambles, it's in chaos. We want to be very careful about these automatic thoughts and learn how to make sure that you are not just going with the thought without looking at it and asking, is it true? Do I have evidence? Can I explain this behavior in another way other than the one that I am ruminating over? I believe that with that tip, you can begin that process of using your notebook to write out and question and evaluate the validity of that thought that you have. Therefore, until next time, I am glad to have been with you this afternoon, and I hope and pray that we will be able to continue to grow and become better in our mental health, which will mean that we will have better relationships, not only with ourselves, but with other people. So until next time, please subscribe tell your friends about my channel, and leave us a comment about what is helpful to you. Reach out to me for help. I do individual therapy, and I also do couples therapy and even group therapy, so that I can support you in your quest for good mental health.